My name is Marni, and from here on out, I'm gonna be your very own personal wing girl. It's my job to give you the no BS honest truth about what women want versus what they say they want. And I put up new videos every Monday, so keep an eye out for my videos. In this video, I'm going to share a technique that triggers women's primal brains and makes them instantly see you as a man they need to pay attention to. I will tell you exactly what to say and do to get a woman's undivided attention, even if you are short, fat, bald, or unemployed. I want you to try something for me. It's a new technique that I just discovered while at the gym this morning. Before my spin class started, I was chatting with this woman. She was cute and super fit and bubbly. But that's besides the point. The point is that our conversation got cut short because the class started, and our conversation couldn't continue because the class was really freaking hard, so I left early. And by the way, I pretty much always leave early, but this time it was because the class was super intense. Anyway, I wanted to follow up with the girl I had been talking to, but didn't have time to wait around until the class was done. Plus, I didn't want to be lingering outside waiting for her, and I have a life. So as I was leaving, I hand signaled to her that I would leave my number at the front desk. Sweaty, out of breath me goes to the front desk to leave my number. When I get there, there is this guy at the front desk that I don't really pay attention to because, I'm in my own world. I just came from a spin class, and he didn't exactly catch my attention, if you know what I mean. And I say to him, can I please borrow a pen and paper so I can leave a note for someone? And he looks at me with a straight face and he says, no. In shock, I look up at him and then he says with a smirk, I'm just messing with you. You can have a pen, but don't make me hunt you down for it. My response? I laughed, I smiled, and I blushed a little bit. Now I was paying attention and altering my actions because of it. The simple technique he used to capture my attention and had me changing my behavior towards him is called triggering the primal brain. I won't go into too much detail about this because it's super sciencey and you can look it up online, which you should because it's really interesting. But I'll give you a brief summary of it now so that you can use it right away on women who in the past may not have noticed you, but will now. The primal brain is the part of the brain that is responsible for the initial filtering of all incoming messages to the brain. It's the first part of your brain. It generates most fight or flight responses and it produces strong basic emotions too. Very primitive. This part of the brain is what gets triggered in a person when you approach. Basically, what this guy did was something out of the ordinary that got me to freeze and pay attention. That's why things like OSA work incredibly well. As a reminder, OSA is my method for starting conversation that you can learn all about in the Approach Blueprint, and I'm going to tell you about the Approach Blueprint at the end of this video. Typical, boring, everyday things don't trigger the primal brain, and therefore, they don't gain the brain's attention. Most people would just say, yes, of course you can have a pen and paper. And I would have responded by taking the pen and paper, writing down the number, giving it back to him, and saying thank you, and then I'd be on my way. Nothing more. But this guy didn't just do the norm. He said the opposite to what most people would say, which got me to pay attention. He triggered my primal brain to say, what? Granted, he wasn't doing this to attract me, hook me in, and then ask me on a date, but you can. Getting a woman to see you in the way that I saw this guy is one of the hardest parts of the attraction dance. What this guy was able to do to me with one simple word, which was no, literally changed my point of view of him in under 2 seconds. Now, I want you to trigger women's primal brains. But the question is how? How do you trigger a woman's primal brain? You trigger their brains by saying things that you wouldn't typically say. For the next week, I want you to try this. I want you to initially say the opposite, not so nice responses to people and see how they respond. This is just to catch their attention, not to actually be a dick. If a woman asks you to hold her spot in line, say no. Then follow it up with a lighter response, similar to the one the guy said to me at the gym. I'm just joking. If a woman walks by you and bumps into you and says, oh, sorry, say, oh, that hurt. Then follow it up with a lighter response and a smile to show you're just messing around with her. What this little exercise will do is get you comfortable doing the not so nice normal thing that everyone else does, breaking the social rules, so to speak. It will also get each of these women to take notice of you and start the interaction off right. Most men don't understand that in order to attract a woman, she needs to feel something special about you. And she'll never feel something special about you if she doesn't even know you're there. With a primal brain trigger technique, she'll not only know you're there, she'll have no choice but to pay attention to you. Guys who know how to catch a woman's attention are incredibly rare, which is why the few who do have more sexual options than they can handle. The primal brain trigger is just the start to getting her hooked. Now you have to reel her in and keep her attention. What if I told you I had a magical code phrase to make conversations with beautiful women effortless? What if this code phrase would also let you bypass rejection, make your approach come off as 100% acceptable, and start conversations with hot girls naturally? Would you want to learn it? I'm pretty sure you would. And if you answered yes, then I'd like to introduce you to my program, the Approach Blueprint. The Approach Blueprint is a complete instruction manual that gives you a combination of words, tonality, and body language that unconsciously make women attracted to you. The Approach Blueprint teaches a method so effective that one student said this about it: "It's a great way to meet women that every guy has been waiting his whole life to learn." Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, why don't you be the judge of that? To get instant access to the Approach Blueprint, just click the link below in the description box or go to winggirlmethod.com/approach-blueprint. When you know the simple code phrase that I'm going to teach you, it will be like adding rocket fuel to all your interactions with women. To get instant access to the Approach Blueprint, just click the link in the description box below or go to winggirlmethod.com/approach-blueprint. See you soon.